Tonight, hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico, a caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals," is rushing to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border before the Trump administration is sworn in. Many carrying their belongings in plastic bags and on their backs, and already starting to voice their fears about not being able to cross into the United States come January. "I think it will be much more complicated now," says this man who's traveling from Venezuela. "Now we are thinking about finding a way to get through before Trump takes the presidency." DHS officials telling NBC News that they have not yet seen a surge in migrants heading to the United States, but that they want CBP and ICE officials to be prepared.
One of the first calls I'm going to make is to Mexico. You stop letting people come in through our border.
Trump now vowing to deport millions of undocumented migrants, saying his plan has, quote, "no price tag." He's also threatening to impose a tariff of 25% on Mexican imports unless Mexico's government curbs what he describes as an onslaught of immigration. Those promises now creating uncertainty and anxiety among migrants making the taxing journey. This caravan, which set off with nearly 3,000 people on Election Day, has dwindled to just about half of its original size, according to Reuters. This man from Venezuela saying now that Trump has won, he doesn't know what to do, but returning to Venezuela for him is like being shot in the head. Migrants in Mexican border cities waiting for legal entry through the CBP-1 program now also worried their plans might be upended. Some, like this woman, are anxious that the appointments they've waited months for under the CBP-1 program could be canceled.
Él inició la conversación felicitándome.
On Friday, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum saying she had a, quote, very friendly phone call with Trump in which they congratulated each other's presidential wins and said there will be time in the future to discuss the border issue. Time that many migrants now fear is running out for them.
Okay, Ellison Barber joins us now in studio. So, Ellison, going back to that CBP-1 app that you mentioned, this is something the Biden administration set up. Has the Trump administration or the Trump team said anything yet about what they're going to do with that?
So it's interesting because they obviously spend so much time talking about their plans as it relates to the U.S.-Mexico border. But in terms of comments about CBP-1 in particular, really not a lot of detailed comments from Donald Trump himself. However, back in mid-September, we did find where he mentioned CBP-1 in a post on X and Truth Social. He said in part this, quote, "We will stop all migrant flights, end all illegal entries, terminate the Kamala phone app for smuggling illegals," put in parentheses there, CBP-1 app, and then he went on to list a couple of other things. So he talked about it.
And that could be kind of chaotic because people are in the queue already in some
Right, people are in the queue, and what he hasn't said, which is what's making so many people panic, he's made this comment saying, "I would terminate that app," but hasn't said when that would happen, hasn't said how or how it would fit into his broader immigration policies moving forward. And that's part of why so many people are like, we don't know what's going to happen next, but you said you might get rid of this. Even if it was in that one post, it's leading to a lot of additional questions.
And I'm sure we'll learn in January as soon as he takes office.